giving out the proper information. This is your job, dude.
On a recent episode of The View, the hosts lost their minds once again. This time, they were furious over a meeting where Donald Trump and Elon Musk played big roles in shaping the government's next steps. It didn't take long before the hosts went into full meltdown mode. Joy Behar, as always, had a lot to say. She claimed that Trump only ran for president so he wouldn't go to jail. She said he doesn't really care about the country or the job, he just wants to stay out of trouble. Her words were full of anger, making it clear she has no respect for him. Then Sunny Hostin took things even further. She attacked Elon Musk, calling him a foreign agent and an enemy of America. She even said that because Musk grew up in South Africa, he must still think the way people did during apartheid. That was a shocking claim, but Joy Behar wasn't done yet. She went all in and said Musk was pro-apartheid, meaning he supported racial separation. There was no proof, but that didn't stop her from saying it. The way they talked about Musk made it seem like he was some kind of villain. As the show went on, it became clear they had gone too far. Their words were too strong and they knew it. Soon they had no choice but to backtrack. This is just another example of The View running wild with crazy claims and then pretending they didn't mean it. The things said on The View were not just wrong, they were ridiculous. They attacked Elon Musk and Donald Trump without facts, just pure anger. Let's break down why their claims made no sense. First, let's have Musk's background reality check. Sunny Hostin called Musk a foreign agent and said he was pro-apartheid. But let's look at the truth.
Those million people that haven't responded, though, Elon, they are on the bubble. As they say, maybe they're going to be gone. We're cutting down the size of government. We have to. We're bloated.
Elon Musk was born in South Africa in 1971. Yes, that was during apartheid, but he was just a kid. He did not make the rules. In fact, Musk's family was against apartheid. He even left South Africa as soon as he could to avoid being part of the system. He moved to Canada and then to the US, where he built his career. Calling Musk a supporter of apartheid is not just wrong, it's insane. He has spent his life creating businesses that help people. Tesla makes electric cars to fight pollution. SpaceX is working to explore space for all humanity. Starlink provides internet to people in remote areas. Does that sound like an enemy of America? Of course not. But The View doesn't care about facts. They just wanted to attack him. The hosts of The View say they care about progress and diversity, but their attack on Musk shows they don't really mean it. They call Musk an enemy of America while ignoring all the jobs he creates. Tesla, SpaceX, and his other companies employ thousands of people in the US and around the world. Many of these jobs are high-paying and give people a chance at a better life. They also ignore Musk's personal life. He has children from different racial backgrounds. If he truly believed in race separation, would he have a diverse family? The logic just doesn't add up.
Situation.
Very unhappy.
Because he only ran to stay out of jail.
Yeah.
You know, that was mainly his... Well, I think
That's the reason. And to grab it.
The truth is, the hosts of The View don't like Musk because he refuses to follow their rules. He believes in free speech, and that threatens their control over information. Ever since he took over Twitter, now called X, he has allowed people to speak their minds without fear of being banned. That scares the media because it means they can't control the conversation anymore. Now let's have a quick look at anti-Trump's narrative. Of course, The View couldn't just stop at attacking Musk. They also had to go after Trump because that's what they do. Joy Behar said Trump only ran for president to stay out of jail. An easy thing to say, but where's the proof? He was one of the most successful presidents when it came to the economy, job growth, and keeping America strong, but the hosts ignored all that. They also acted like Trump had no right to invite Musk to be part of government talks. Why not? Musk runs some of the biggest companies in the world. He knows how to handle major industries like energy, space, and technology. It makes perfect sense for him to be part of these discussions. However, because Trump is involved, The View automatically sees it as bad. At the end of the day, their hatred for Trump is so deep that they can't even think clearly. They will attack anyone who works with him, even if that person is doing great things for the country. This episode of The View was just another example of how out of touch they are. Instead of talking about real issues, they spent their time spreading fear and nonsense. But the more they lie, the more people wake up to their game. The meltdown on The View was bad enough, but what happened next was even better. After spending the entire segment segment attacking Elon Musk with false claims, the producers clearly realized they had made a huge mistake. You could almost hear them panicking behind the scenes. They knew that if Musk decided to fight back, the show could be in trouble. Lawsuits, backlash, lost advertisers. It was a nightmare waiting to happen. So what did they do? They made Joy Behar do something she absolutely hates. They forced her to apologize.
And to grab it.
Really the responsibility of the job. And Elon Musk kisses his butt and strokes his tiny ego or big ego, whatever it is. And
Right here.
and he doesn't get to do. He can take a nap while the guy was not born in this country.
Joy Behar is not someone who likes to admit she's wrong. She has spent years making outrageous claims on TV without facing any real consequences. But this time, the producers knew she had gone too far. So, after the commercial break, there she was, looking uncomfortable, looking angry, but pretending like she cared. She started by saying, "I'm getting some flack because I said that Musk was pro-apartheid. I don't really know for sure if he was." Wait, what? She doesn't really know? Then why did she say it in the first place? That was the moment you could tell she wasn't sorry at all. She wasn't apologizing because she felt bad. She was doing it because she had to. She kept going, trying to save herself. He grew up at that time when apartheid was in full bloom before the great Nelson Mandela fixed that. He was around at that time, but maybe he was a child, like 5 years old. Maybe he wasn't. Might have been a young guy too. Might have been. What was that even supposed to mean? She was backtracking so hard, but she still couldn't bring herself to fully admit she was wrong. It was embarrassing to watch. Instead of saying, "I lied," she gave some half-baked excuse about Musk being around at that time. By that logic, every single person who lived in South Africa before apartheid ended must be guilty. It made no sense. But she had to say something to make it look like she was correcting herself. It wasn't just Behar. The whole panel looked like they were struggling. You could see it in their eyes. They knew they had screwed up. Sunny Hostin, who had been the loudest voice in the attack against Musk, sat there looking defeated. She didn't even try to fight back. Whoopi Goldberg avoided the topic completely, acting like nothing happened. Even the usually smug Sarah Haynes seemed uneasy. They weren't just backtracking, they were scared. The truth is, this was not just an apology, it was a sign of weakness. For years, The View has gotten away with spreading lies and smearing people they don't like. But this time, they crossed the wrong person. Musk has power, money, and influence. And they knew that if he wanted to, he could make their lives very difficult.
The enemy of America. Oh my God. He creates an electric vehicle, and he's an enemy of America.
The apology was rushed, forced, and clearly not genuine. But the fact that they even had to do it at all proves one thing. The View is losing its grip. They are used to saying whatever they want without consequences. But people are waking up. The old tricks aren't working anymore. This wasn't just a bad moment for The View. It was a warning. They can't just throw out lies and expect people to believe them forever. The more they do this, the more people will see through their act. And once that happens, their time on TV is over. The meltdown, the lies, the forced apology, it all leads to one big question. Why is The View falling apart like this? The answer is simple. They can't handle reality. For years, they controlled the conversation. They could say whatever they wanted, and most people just accepted it. But times have changed. People aren't buying their nonsense anymore. They're starting to think for themselves, and that terrifies The View. Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, these women have spent years pretending they know everything. They believe they are the smartest people in the room. They think they can tell Americans what to think and who to hate. But now their power is slipping. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and so many others they despise are still standing. No matter how hard they try to destroy them, it's not working. And worse, people are laughing at The View. They used to be taken seriously, but now they're a joke. That's why they're panicking.
Lies in Trump's new administration. The cabinet meeting made it clear that it wasn't in the actual cabinet.
Why are there earrings
the power
in your ear?
dynamic is that we perhaps, as you have been saying, Whoopi, have a shadow president. That's what it appeared like to me.
They know their audience is shrinking. They know they're losing influence. And instead of changing, instead of facing reality, they're doubling down on the same tired tricks, but it's backfiring. For years, The View followed a simple strategy. Pick a target, spread lies and false narratives, get the media to back them up, never apologize, move on to the next target. This strategy worked for a long time. They destroyed reputations. They made people believe that anyone who disagreed with them was evil, and no one questioned it. But that's over now. When they went after Musk, Musk, people didn't just believe them, they fact-checked them. They called out their lies in real time. The internet exploded with people pointing out how ridiculous they sounded. Even their own viewers were skeptical. And when they were forced to apologize, that was the biggest proof that their playbook is broken. If they still had the same power they once did, they wouldn't have had to backtrack. But they did. That's why this moment matters. It's not just about The View lying again. It's about them realizing that the world has changed. They aren't the gatekeepers of truth anymore, and they know it. At this point, there's no other way to put it. The View is a complete joke. It's not a serious show. It's not about real discussion. It's just a group of bitter, out-of-touch hosts throwing tantrums because they can't control the narrative anymore. They tried to smear Elon Musk, but they got caught. They spread lies, thinking no one would challenge them, but people did. And instead of standing by their words, they were forced to apologize on air, something they almost never do. That alone proves how weak they've become.
Reply to the email. Everyone that's ever worked in any environment knows you don't put in writing things that can be used against you legally. Yeah. So I would never reply to that email until I had clear.
For years, they used fear, misinformation, and emotional manipulation to push their agenda, but now people are waking up. The internet exists. Social media exists. The truth is out there, and no one has to rely on The View to understand what's really going on. This is why their ratings are struggling. This is why people don't take them seriously. And this is why every time they pull one of these stunts, more and more people see them for what they really are. Washed up elites clinging to the past, desperate for relevance. The View thought they could take down Musk. Instead, they exposed themselves. And the best part, they did it to themselves.